What if you didn't belong to a country, but to an algorithm? By 2100, your nationality might not be printed on a passport. It could be encrypted in your digital identity. Imagine a world with no borders, no visas, no passports, no illegal immigrants. Because the very idea of countries has vanished. A planet where artificial intelligence doesn't just connect us through screens, but physically erases the imaginary lines that divide us. It may sound like the plot of a futuristic sci-fi film, but by the year 2100, it might become our reality. We're heading toward a world where you don't belong to a country. You belong to an ecosystem, a digital platform, a value system. This is the birth of a new concept, nation as a service. You no longer get assigned to a country just because you were born there. Instead, you choose a digital nation that aligns with your beliefs, preferences, and lifestyle. Just like you choose a mobile app or a subscription plan. And at the heart of all this transformation is AI. Welcome to Techno Tales. Today, we're diving into one of the most radical possibilities of the future, a borderless world. Stick around, because this isn't just speculation. It's a revolution waiting to happen. Chapter 1: The History of Borders. How we got here. To understand the future, we must first understand the past. Borders weren't always permanent. Ancient humans roamed the earth freely, unburdened by concepts like citizenship or national identity. Later came kingdoms and empires, each redrawing the map with every war treaty or marriage alliance. But these lines on the map were never fixed. They were constantly in flux. It was only in the last couple of centuries that we started treating borders as sacred, unchangeable boundaries. We built fences, walls, immigration checkpoints, and visa systems to protect these invisible lines. The passport became a symbol of legitimacy and denial. But in the 21st century, something began to change. The internet broke communication barriers. Anyone, anywhere, could message, call, or stream with someone across the planet in real time. Bitcoin and blockchain technology removed the need for centralized banking. Money could now move borderlessly, without banks or governments. Commerce went digital. People began working for companies halfway across the world, earning in dollars, spending in crypto, and living wherever they wanted. The rules of geography started bending. The digital world was showing us what a borderless life could look like, and AI is the force that might erase the last remaining boundaries. Chapter 2: AI, the ultimate global governor. Governments today exist to manage resources and enforce rules. But what if artificial intelligence could do that job better? Think of a world where one advanced AI system could monitor global food production, detect shortages before they happen, and redirect supplies where they're needed most, without bias, bureaucracy, or delay. Where AI systems predict disease outbreaks weeks in advance and reroute medical support in real time. Where electricity grids are optimized globally to balance clean energy consumption across borders. In such a future, you wouldn't need 190 governments arguing over oil, trade deals, or environmental targets. One unified intelligence could manage the planet's needs more efficiently, more ethically, and more precisely than any collection of human-led nations. This isn't just theory. We already have glimpses of it. AI is being used to forecast climate patterns, predict epidemics, and optimize urban infrastructure. Governments like Estonia have begun digitizing public services, while countries like the UAE are experimenting with AI-led public policy frameworks. Imagine scaling that up. Not just smarter cities, but a smarter planet, run by an unbiased, self-improving system. But here's the critical question. Who controls this AI? A global democratic alliance, a tech monopoly, or something else? Chapter 3: The Death of Passports, Identity Without Borders. In today's world, movement is controlled by documents. Your nationality determines where you can go, what rights you have, and what privileges you're granted. But this model is becoming outdated, and fast. Already, biometric data is replacing passports. Your face, your fingerprint, even your DNA is increasingly used for verification. Dubai uses facial recognition in its airports to let passengers move through security in seconds. The European Union is testing AI-based systems for visa approvals. Blockchain identity wallets are emerging, allowing people to carry all their credentials digitally, unforgeable, encrypted, and globally verifiable. By 2100, travel may no longer require paperwork. Instead of showing a passport at a border, an AI system might scan your face, instantly verify your history, and grant access, or deny it, within seconds. The idea of a foreigner might cease to exist. And with that, the very concept of borders starts to dissolve. You wouldn't belong to a country. You'd belong to a verified digital identity, accessible from anywhere, at any time. Chapter 4. Decentralizing Opportunity. What if geography no longer mattered? In today's world, where you're born largely determines the life you'll live. Geography controls your access to healthcare, education, job opportunities, and income. That's why millions migrate across borders every year, not for culture, but for survival. But what if AI made that entire system irrelevant? What if AI helped level the playing field, bringing world-class education, remote healthcare, and clean energy to even the most remote places? Imagine AI-driven systems delivering real-time medical advice, drones supplying vaccines, smart solar grids powering entire villages, and high-speed satellite internet connecting people to global work without leaving their hometowns. In this world, moving to a richer country wouldn't be essential because opportunity would be everywhere. The need for economic migration would shrink. And as that happens, the invisible walls that separate nations would slowly lose meaning. When geography no longer defines your future, borders begin to fade, not by force but by irrelevance. This brings us to one of the most radical ideas of the 21st century. Chapter 5. Nation as a Service. In the future, governments may become platforms you subscribe to, like Netflix but for citizenship. Instead of being born into a system, you choose one that fits your values, privacy standards, education model, or healthcare structure. Don't like your government's policies? You opt out and move to a better one, digitally. This model is already starting to form. Estonia's e-residency program allows you to become a digital citizen, run a business, and access services without ever setting foot in the country. Blockchain communities called DEOs are already making governance decisions using smart contracts and tokens. In this emerging world, your nation isn't tied to land. It's tied to code. It's transparent, decentralized, and democratic by design. And it's built to serve, not to rule. Borders don't disappear by force, they fade by irrelevance. Chapter 6. AI Cities, the New Superpowers. If countries fade, what replaces them? The answer might be cities, but not just any cities. Smart cities, designed from scratch, powered by AI, and built for efficiency. Take Neom, Saudi Arabia's $500 billion city of the future. It's being built with no streets, no traffic, no pollution, and no paper-based bureaucracy. The city will be run almost entirely by AI, offering services like predictive healthcare, automated transportation, and AI-mediated law enforcement. We've done an entire video exploring Neom's vision. Check it out if you haven't already. But Neom is just the beginning. Tolosa in the US, Songdo in South Korea, and other AI-driven cities are redefining what it means to be governed. In these cities, you don't just live. You plug into a system, a platform, a full-stack experience. If enough people begin to live in cities that offer better systems than countries, then the country becomes irrelevant. Cities become sovereign. Nations become networks. And the future of governance moves from the capital to the code. Chapter 7. The Dark Side of Borderless AI. Let's not get carried away without asking the hard questions. A borderless world governed by AI sounds like a utopia, but it could just as easily turn into a dystopia. What if the AI that manages global systems becomes biased, corrupt, or hijacked? What if a single company gains monopoly control over identity, citizenship, and digital rights? What if governments disappear, only to be replaced by corporate fiefdoms? Imagine a world where Amazon handles your healthcare, Google runs your schools, and Tesla controls your transportation. You're not governed, you're owned. Your rights aren't protected by law, they're outlined in a terms of service agreement. Without borders, who protects your rights? Without elected leaders, who do you hold accountable? Without a constitution, who decides what's fair? The collapse of the nation-state could either liberate humanity or lead us into a cage made of algorithms and corporate policies. AI doesn't decide, we do. So, will countries still exist in 2100? Maybe. But they won't look anything like what we know today. Citizenship may be digital. Governments may be decentralized. Your city may be your new nation, and your passport may be just your face. Artificial intelligence might erase borders, decentralize power, and give individuals more freedom than ever. But the path we choose now determines whether we enter a golden age of collaboration or a nightmare of digital control. The question isn't whether borders will survive. The question is whether we'll be ready when they disappear. So, what do you think? Could you live in a world without countries? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed exploring the future with us, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Techno Tales, where tomorrow's world is always one story away.